Get your Godzilla figures at Big Bad Toy Store at the link in the description. Kaiju, Dragon Ball, Pokemon, and more. It's Steven's Toy Reviews. Hello there, collectors. It's Steven here, and welcome to another NECA Godzilla review. Today we're going to be taking a look at NECA's crack at Godzilla 1989. Or better known in the fandom as Biogoji. This is going to be a unique representation of Godzilla. Not only is it a popular rendition of Godzilla, 1989 specific, a lot of folks like that, but this is one of the very few 6-inch scale Biogoji sculpts. And a lot has been writing on this. Why? NECA just recently announced they're no longer producing Godzilla product, which means once these guys are gone, they are gone. So with that being said, with this being what is effectively one of the last 4 of NECA's Godzilla figures to be made, is it worth the purchase, or maybe you should sit out for another company to take a crack at a 6-inch scale Godzilla 1989? Well, let's take a look to see whether or not this dude's worth adding into your collection. Right off the top, I'm going to have to talk about the head sculpt. A lot of folks have pointed out in my Discord specifically that it looks very similar to the Godzilla on one of the DVD covers for Godzilla vs. King Ghidorah from the Heisei era. And I do have to admit, it does look very similar. Otherwise, yeah, no, it doesn't quite capture the look of Biogoji. There are a couple of folks who will say that it's the water suit. And I'm going to have to say no, that is a very poor choice to say that you reference something that is not the main focal point of the movie, you know, the full body shot based off of something that's only there for a few scenes. So no. The head sculpt, unfortunately, is not very accurate. It's rather, I guess you could say, thin, and it's not as full as Biogoji should be. The expression is there, but unfortunately, the head sculpt doesn't quite capture it. However, the rest of the body is, as the kids like to say, on fleek. The sculpt details are fantastic, and it really does capture the Heisei era of Godzilla rather well. In some areas, they should have the scaling and the scutes more so like on the chest and the belly, rather than just the ridges and folds that we're going to be seeing throughout the rest of Godzilla, but nevertheless, fantastic job on the sculpt. When it comes to the paint, unfortunately, because this is going to be a relatively cheap figure, we're not going to have absolutely perfect paint everywhere, but that being said, for the price point, it is rather fine. So in general, if you're a figure collector who does like to have top-notch quality, your mileage may vary. I have seen a couple of hiccups here and there with the teeth, and the eyes may leave a bit to be desired depending on your preferences, but generally speaking, yeah, NECA did a pretty solid job on this guy. Yeah, he's pretty good. Yeah. Biogoji's articulation is actually pretty good. In some areas, it does leave a teeny tiny bit to be desired, just because we know this as, simply put, a Heisei Godzilla. And, well, I don't know, maybe it could strike the pose a little better, specifically in the arms, but generally speaking, mwah, we have a good boy here. So what do we have? Well, as we know, the jaw is going to be on a hinge. So as you can see, it opens. Whoa! That's kind of disturbing there a little bit. That's pretty wide. Yeah. Closing it up, it's okay, but it is what it is. The head plugs into the neck on a ball joint, so we can move it and spin it around. And then this section of the neck plugs into the shoulders on a ball joint as well. Thankfully, this allows us to move Godzilla's head up about that far, down about that far, and of course in all sorts of which ways. So, very good there. Shoulders are on a swivel hinge combo, but thanks to the sculpt, when in the default position, it is going to rub up against the barrel chest and the back a little bit. But again, swivel hinge, so we just hinge it out and bada bing bada boom, we're good to go there, no issues. We do have a swivel hinge system for the elbows, so this way we do have a technical bicep swivel, not really. And then hinge to move up. There we go. We have swivel hinge wrists, which work rather nicely when they want to work, as you can kind of see there. And then we have hinged pingors. So this way, when trying to strike that close to the chest Heisei pose, we can kind of get that, but not really. I mean, we can get it, but close. Also, almost forgot the ab crunch there. We can't forget an ab crunch on a Godzilla. So this way he can rock from side to side and roar one way and another way. Yeah, so that's all good there. Just close. For the legs, ball joints, and they work phenomenally well. Again, spread about that far. Forward and back, kind of at an angle, but it is what it is. For the knees, we are going to have hinge and swivel with ball jointed ankles, or at least pegs that plug into the ankle to allow a little bit of ankle rocker movement, so that is good there. For the tail, we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ball joints ending with a bendy wire. Just a little bit of a bendy wire, and honestly, it doesn't really do too much, but it has wonderful expression in the tail overall. So generally speaking, the Heisei Godzilla was not designed with movability and flexibility in mind. However, NECA did a pretty good job here. It works. Now, alongside some pretty solid articulation, this Godzilla is going to come with a beam, which slides into the mouth hole right there. And this beam is going to look like the red spiral ray, but blue. That's right, they finally did a spiral ray effect part, which would go great with Burning Godzilla, but unfortunately, I'm talking about the Heisei Burning Godzilla 1995, well, we'll never see that. But as you can clearly see here, it does make for a nice beam effect. It looks pretty dang good. Maybe it could be spruced up just a little bit. I think more of a translucent blue would be nice, but at the end of the day, this still gets the job done. And of course, I'm going to go ahead and throw up a 360 spin view here with some other effect parts you may be interested in, because who doesn't like an overfilled display with effect parts, including explosions for your Godzilla? We all need that, and I got videos to help you out. Now we're going to go ahead and move on over to a size comparison with the 2003 Tokyo SOS Godzilla, because these both came out at the same time, back-to-back premieres on the same night during the stay-at-home Cyber Kaiju event, so check them out. So as you can see, this is going to be one bulky boy. Very, very nice. However, not truly in scale with the Monster Arts Biollante. I know a lot of folks did want to see that. So, buy now, skip, or wait for a deal. Well, this is going to be the most affordable 6-inch scale Biogoji, and quite frankly, it's a pretty good choice. Unfortunately, there really isn't a Biollante in scale with this Godzilla, but I guess you're going to fake it until you make it, especially with the Monster Arts Special Color version coming out. At any rate, it is a good figure, and it is a nice send-off from NECA. If you're a fan of Biogoji, I don't think you will find this one to be bad at all. However, you may find, just like me, that they could have done just a little better, specifically with the head sculpt. But it's a good figure. Well, collectors, that brings us to the end of the video today, and I just wanted to take a second to thank you so much for watching. Now, you've heard a lot from me. I'd like to hear a little bit from you. Drop in the comments down below whether or not you liked it, you hated it, or maybe you were somewhere in between. I also want to take an extra second here for a nice, humongous thank you to all the patrons for SDR over the last month who have really helped the channel grow into what it can be today. So to all of you, 2 big thumbs up. Thank you very much. And now the end card should be popping up, which will give you a few clickable links, like maybe to subscribe or head on over to my Patreon, or some short URLs like to my social media or to my Teespring store. There's also a video I hand-selected for you, so if you want to watch another STR video, I hand-selected some good content for you to watch, so definitely check out that video. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll catch ya in the next video.